any music, I feel like I'm fucked. That was fucking brilliant. You might be able to tell from my sort of Tory voice and Princess Diana haircut, I'm quite posh. I apologise for that, like I want to get that out of the way. I know that's not very fashionable, but it's true, my dad's very, very posh. Alright, it's not a hate crime. It's not illegal, but it's fair enough we seem to. My dad's the posh one in our family. Like, he got married and divorced 3 times just for something to talk about on skiing weekends. I ended up with a big family, right? I've got a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm very proud of who we are, right? I'm just not necessarily proud of where we came from. Like, I grew up in a very white part of Wandsworth. Called Wandsworth. And the school I went to had a real diversity problem. Like, in my year, we had 100 boys. And they took a survey, and of 100 boys, 96 self-identified as white, right? A bit like this room, and that's awful. And that's only because me and 3 others didn't know what Caucasian meant. I love my parents, but I come from a bit of a complicated background. My parents don't like when I come on stage and say that they're divorced, because they're not. But it's a bit of a complicated upbringing. Like, my mum's an Irish Catholic and my dad was an English Protestant, so there were troubles at home. Growing up, like, that's kind of confusing. Like, I would have to split my time between the church, because my mum's a devout Catholic, and the Emirates, because my dad's a devout Arsenal fan. Those are kind of more similar than you might think. Like, it was confusing for me. Like, on Sundays I'd have to wake up and I'd get into my special kit. And meet up with the local drums, and we'd go do homophobic chanting for about 90 minutes. And then Dad would pick me up and take me to the footy. So slow for a room of comedians. Come on, switch on. I'm here to learn. I lost my faith when I was quite young, and that's weird. Like, when you're a kid and you're not religious, the only time you go to church is for like weddings and funerals. And when you're under a certain age, those are kind of the same things. Like, I remember when I was about 8 or 9 maybe, my mum's auntie passed away. And I didn't know who she was. But you have to go and kind of support. And it's weird because you go to the church and you're wearing a bit of an itchy suit. And then for some reason, whoever's done the best that year invites you to their garden for like a drinks party. And when you're a kid at a funeral, they let you play football. I don't know who implemented that, but there's kind of like a funeral FC thing going on. And there's a lot of people on the sideline in suits. I think they might be scouts. I wasn't sure. I was 9 years old, right? And I didn't really know what was going on, but I loved football. So I took it very seriously. And we got a free kick. And I put the ball down and I took 7 steps back. And I fastened the Velcro on my shoes. Because when you had those school shoes, you had like a 99 curve. We don't have time to get into it, but I genuinely think England would have won that last World Cup if they wore Giggles. But again, and I ran up and I smashed it. It went right in the top corner, right? And at the time, my favourite football player was Luis Suarez. And he was my favourite football player because he bit people. Now I know that's not okay, but at the time that was like the fucking coolest thing. Now Luis Suarez is from Uruguay and he's very religious and he has both of his parents' names tattooed on his wrists. So when he scores, he does a celebration and dedicates it to them. I didn't know that. I just watched his clips on YouTube. So I scored my banger, I did a knee slide into the corner, right? And then right in front of a bunch of old people, I just went... And there were these 2 old ladies sitting there, and they looked up and they wiped their tears, and they saw me do this and they went, "Ah, he's dedicated the goal to Margaret." And I remember thinking, who the fuck is Margaret? I'm a young person, technically, and a lot of comedians talk about mental health, and I think that's a good thing. I think young people don't take mental health seriously enough. I think young people would take mental health more seriously if the conditions didn't have such cool names. Like, my therapist told me I had insomnia the other day, and I was like, insomnia? Isn't that a fucking nightclub? Let's go, I'm not sleeping anyway. I'm had anxiety my whole life since I was 8 years old. It was only when I got told I had general anxiety disorder. I was like, general, I don't want some basic...
Let's give it up for Alfie!